DeanZine LiveStream. DeanZine LiveStream. DeanZine LiveStream. DeanZine.
Hello, everybody. Hi, whoops. Hi, everybody. Dean Friedman here. Welcome back to my DeanZine live stream. Happy Sunday. And here we are, episode 5, to my amazement. I was not expecting to be in here doing this, and I'm sure I forgot to do a zillion things as I went live, but here we are. And let's see where you are. Hey, folks. I see hi from the Highlands of Scotland, Alison Skinner. Hello. How you doing, Alison? And hi, Mike. Woo. Hi from sunny Surrey. Hi, Jane from sunny Surrey. I'm glad it's sunny. And let's see. You know what? If I could pose on you good folks, while you're online, if you could sort of just share this live feed on Facebook and YouTube to your friends and let folks know that we're on, that'd be great. Much obliged. Hey, James Burbage from Ireland. That's so cool. And Mike from London. Hey, Mike. You folks are from, oh, here we go. From Beaver Creek, Colorado. Hey, Stacy. That's very cool. And Garrison, New York. That's just a hop, skip, and a jump. Well, it's nice to see everybody from Kent, and there you are. Cool. All right. Well, anyway, I'm very excited about our show today, this afternoon, this morning, or this evening. We got lots of music and special guests. And I know you're gonna all have a good time and enjoy it. And first, I am gonna start off with a song. So let me grab my guitar. You know, there's a lot of talk about the the physical impact of what's going on, and just as much concern about the psychological, emotional impact and consequences of this peculiarness that we're all immersed in, and just the strange sense that even the folks seemingly in charge don't really have a clue, which means it's still kind of ultimately left to our own, each of us, to our own devices to sort of scan the landscape and navigate and try and determine what's real and what's not and how things really are. And even in the best of times, that can be a challenge just by virtue of being alive on the planet. When there's something actually to be real concerned and worry about, well, it doesn't make it any easier. However, having said that, we still possess the tools to make some sense of the chaotic world around us. I'm not sure that it's anything to do with this next song, but maybe just a little bit. I know a girl, her hair is brown. She wears a smile upside down. There's a little black cloud hanging over her head. No one can count the tears she shed. There's a little black cloud that follows her around. I'm gonna keep her safe and sound, safe and sound. acts so cool. I called her bluff. I know she is full of love. She thinks I'm crazy. I guess it's true. Crazy in love with you. There's a little black cloud hanging over her head. No one can count the tears she's shed. There's a little black cloud that follows her around. I'm gonna keep her safe and sound. Safe and sound. Alone in a corner, she looks so sad. Must have been a difficult time she had. One of these days, the skies will clear. That little cloud will disappear. There's a little black cloud hanging over her head. No one can count the tears she shed. There's a little black cloud that follows her around. I'm gonna keep her safe and sound. Safe and sound. But you know what they say, just because you're paranoid doesn't mean people aren't out to get you. And just because you might be inclined towards being depressed or anxious doesn't mean there's not something of real concern to occupy your attention. But even so, yeah, I guess that is probably for most folks one of the toughest parts of this. If the illness itself hasn't touched you physically, just the unknowing and the isolation, the being alone, the lack of contact. And this is a fragment of a song. I never finished this song because it's just one verse, because I felt like I said everything in the verse, so I might not ever finish this song because it kind of pretty much says what I meant to say and not much else. So I'm going to sing it maybe once or twice, but this may also apply. All I need is a helping hand, someone there to remind me that no matter the tragedy, life still goes on. It's as simple as it can be, no more than a gentle touch. Nothing seems to mean as much when it's more than you can stand as a helping hand. All I need is a helping hand, someone there to remind me that no matter the tragedy, life still goes on. It's just as simple as it can be. No more than a gentle touch. Nothing seems to mean as much when it's more than you can stand as a helping hand. And now it seemed appropriate to bring you your weekly piano playing cat video from my son Sam.
Notes are heavier on the bottom, bud. I love the way that video ends with a tail on your face. So, folks, as you can see, there are just so many different ways that you can find creatively to occupy your time when you're locked down in your house or apartment or wherever you may be. And that's just one of many. And my next guest is going to talk to us about some other ways to do just that. She's a dear friend of our family. She's a professional circus performer all her adult life. And she also has been doing some really amazing things, teaching circus to kids all over the world. Her name's Jessica Hentoff. Before I bring her on live, I just want to play you a short video clip to help give you a sense of what she's about and some of the amazing stuff that she's been doing. So do check this out, folks.
is a circus without elephants, lion tamers, or even clowns. Instead, Circus Harmony uses circus arts to cultivate personal growth and encourage social change.
We do it by building character in individuals and building bridges between communities. We help young people defy gravity, soar with confidence, and leap over social barriers all at the same time.
It's been amazing. We've been like traveling and meeting new people and making like good friendships, and it's just really a family here. It's nice.
Their dedication to teaching the art of life through circus education recently won them the Missouri Arts Awards Arts Education Award.
While our young people are learning to flip, fly, and fling, they also learn important life skills like focus, persistence, and teamwork. But for circus arts to be recognized as arts education, that's really exciting.
You can just be yourself, and you can kind of show off what the human body can do, what you as a person have learned. I've seen myself get braver to try new things, and I've seen myself be less anxious being in front of people. Even if you mess up, the audience will still find it cool.
Things that you think you can't do, you can accomplish at circus. I was afraid of heights before circus, but being an acrobat really helped overcome that fear.
Success in this circus is so much more than acrobatics.
While we have become one of the top pre-professional circus schools in America, we are first and foremost a social circus. So what's most important to us is that we build character in individuals and build bridges between communities. A lot of kids come here and they think they're just learning to flip or to juggle, but they're learning life skills that they'll be able to use whatever they do.
So anyway, folks, everyone out there in DeanZine land, please give a warm welcome to our guest, Jessica Hentoff. Hey, Jessica.
Hi, Dean.
How you doing, kiddo?
Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, I'm delighted to have you here. There's so much I want to ask you about in terms of what you're doing with social circus, because it's really wonderful work that you're, and everything you're doing preceded this pandemic, where you were addressing the emotional and social needs of kids all over the world. There's a lot I want to ask you about that, but I'm sure our listeners also, our viewers, have this question on their minds, which is, how did a nice Jewish girl like you from New York wind up hanging upside down from a trapeze in St. Louis? Can you answer that?
This show's not long enough, but the short story is I went to college, SUNY Purchase in New York State, and I fell in love with the circus there, started taking circus classes, and my first freshman year of college, I started touring with a youth circus called the Circus Kingdom, and came back and told my circus teacher, Warren Bacon, this is what I want to do with my life. How can I thank you? And he said, pass it on. That's what his circus teacher had told him. So I'm 64 now, and I've been passing it on ever since. So performing all that time and then teaching. I moved to St. Louis because my trapeze partner was from here. Her husband got a job here, and she said, we'll be centrally located. We can tour anywhere. She moved away, but I'm still here, and I started a circus school called Circus Harmony. People can visit it online, circusharmony.org. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. The video you showed was of our home ring, which is at City Museum in St. Louis, which is currently closed. But they can watch us on YouTube, and they can take classes. We're doing quarantine training classes for all levels and all ages.
Now, that's really awesome. And I'm just going to put up some flyers there to let folks know about Circus Harmony and the work that you're doing.
Thank you.
And, I was touching on the idea of how to grapple with the isolation. For my part, part of my therapy is doing what we're doing right now,
Right.
trying to connect with folks all over the world, and you're doing that very directly in a realm that would seem to be more complicated on a Zoom basis. You're teaching kids and adults how to perform circus, and not just circus, but the
social art of circus, which I think is a profound concept. Because now,
We say that circus teaches the art of life. And you talked about a nice Jewish girl. There's a Jewish concept called tikkun olam, that the world has been shattered into a million pieces. It's our job to fix the world. And I think you use whatever glue you can. You use music. Certainly the medical professionals are using medicine. I use circus. And even though we have this current situation, I think all the life skills that we've been teaching our students about strength and flexibility, persistence, and determination is serving them well in this pandemic. So yes, even though now we're working on we're even starting to work on shows and acts on Zoom, we're making it work because that's what circus people always do. They're faced with a new situation and they make it work. They persevere. Perseverance through pandemic.
and those are just such kind of core life skills that you need to know. So all those comic strips where you see some seeker climbing a mountain to find the guru to ask what's the secret of life. Actually, the secret of life is join the circus.
I agree with that. Totally. Absolutely.
That's wonderful. Now, I want to show another video clip in a while, but you did mention that you have the amazing Maple, and I'm wondering, could you favor us with some of Maple's performances? Because this is something
if she will wake up. Yes.
If she wakes up.
So Miss Maple is a 1-year-old rescue dog. I'm putting the camera down to Maple level, which hopefully that
Excellent.
will work.
There you go.
Maple. Have you seen Maple? Maple. Maple? Oh. Well, there you are. Maple is a circus dog, so of course she jumps through a hoop of fake fire. Maple, hop. Good girl. Maple, hop. Woo! Maple place. Maple is also working on her sit-down comedy act. Come on, Maple, all the way. So we'll see, since she just woke up, if she can answer. It looks like I need to adjust the screen a little bit. Don't you just love live
That's
streaming?
just fine. That's great.
So Maple is working on her sit-down comedy act. Maple? No, Maple over here. Are you ready, Maple? I don't think so. Maple, what's on the top of this house? What? What? She said roof. I don't know if you could hear her.
Close enough.
Right. What's on the outside of a tree? What? What? Bark. You heard that one, right?
Uh-huh. Indeed.
And now, to show you that this isn't fake, what does a mime sound like? Right? Nothing.
What a brilliant dog.
What does sandpaper feel like? What? What? It's your last big question. What? Rough. It was very rough. But she's also, like so many of us, taking up arts and crafts. She's learning to weave during the pandemic. Weave. Come on, weave. 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 But her most useful skill is she brings me my coffee. And that is, of course, the one and only Defy Gravity coffee, which Circus Harmony sells. Thank you for my coffee. And people can find out about it on the website because it gives you a lift and helps a child soar all in one cup. But she takes the pandemic seriously. She knows how to go home and shelter in place. The marvelous Miss Maple.
Yay. All right.
Maple.
That's wonderful. There she is. What a good
Yeah.
girl. That's terrific, Jessica. And just to remind our viewers that, you can do this at home with your pooch or pet or whatever critters or even your spouse.
That might be why I don't have one. But the cool thing about having an animal is they live so much in the moment. She doesn't go like, when is this going to be over? She's like, okay, what are we doing today? Oh, we're doing tricks again? Great.
And those are also useful and profound lessons that we can learn from not just the circus, but from
all the animals that live around us. Absolutely.
Right.
So, Jessica, I'd like to play another video clip that will illustrate to our viewers a little bit more about the outreach that you do.
What
in
social
particular
circus is,
with
because it's
kids from
using
different
circus arts.
circumstances and all over the world. And then you can talk a little bit about it. So, bear
Great.
with me just a second.
Okay, thank you.
One of the ways Circus Harmony exemplifies bringing diverse communities together is peace through pyramids.
When we first became a nonprofit in 2001, we did a partnership between children from a Muslim school on Grand Avenue and children from Central Reform Congregation, a Jewish temple in the Central West End, and brought them together and taught them circus and created a show. Then in 2007, we did our first actual Peace Through Pyramids partnership with a Jewish Arab youth circus in Israel. And we did that for over a decade. It's the last time we were in Israel in 2014, 4 days after we got back from Ferguson, literally exploded. So our response was to start Peace Through Pyramids Ferguson. And now we have a master Peace Through Pyramids program with children from all different schools and places. And then they come here, put on a show, and show the world what can happen when you focus on what connects you instead of what divides you.
Thank you. Your brother was watching.
Yeah, that's Aaron. He's standing by. So again, just to expand on that little short video clip, you're using circus to break down prejudices and biases and
it's more of teaching the art of life. We show young people it doesn't matter your race, religion, where you're from, your neighborhood, your socioeconomic status. What matters is what you bring to the ring. And so we worked with the Israeli Galilee Circus for a long time. We're now in a partnership with the National Circus School of Puerto Rico, where they're also in lockdown. And we brought together kids from all over St. Louis. And one of the challenges now is not everybody has the same internet access. So it's being able to reach out to them and finding out when and how they can get online. And that's what we're doing during the pandemic, is looking at how can we keep our students engaged in all their different neighborhoods, and how can we pay our teachers. So any support that people contribute will go to keeping our teaching artists working. And we are actually starting a new show that our advanced students are doing about the mental health of young people through the lens of the pandemic. So any support people will give will keep the show will go on, even if it's in individual houses and online, until we can be together in person again.
Well, Jessica, I want to thank you very much for joining us on this show, and I want to encourage all our viewers to to take to heart what Jessica's been saying, and give some thought to the programs that she's doing that really make a difference in the lives of children.
And those children are all waiting, especially the ones who were with me for many years, for you to play my very favorite song in the whole world, and the song that I think, besides being my personal anthem, should be the anthem for the pandemic.
Well, you're really sweet, and actually that was my deal with Jessica, that I would sing this song in exchange for her taking time to do our
I don't know.
DeanZine.
I'm wearing my coffee cup earrings. I didn't have
There you
rock
go.
paper
Excellent.
earrings.
All right. I'll try not to screw up the words. So,
I'll sing along.
Jessica, thank you again. Lovely to see you. Be well to you and your whole gang. And I'm going to move over there in just a second and fulfill my promise. So you take care.
Thank you so much.
Jessica Hentoff of Circus Harmony. And seriously, folks, read these things. Reach out, get in touch, see what they're up to, and help them out if you can give them a hand. Well, I've got another guest coming up, but I can't finish this show without fulfilling my promise to Jessica. So I'm going to make my way to the piano in just a second and hope that it's still powered up. And I'll be right there. All right, well, of course, my sustain pedal just went opposite, so bear with me a second. I got to turn it off again. Dun, ba, dun, ba, dun, dun, dun. Here we go. All right. I'll try not to mess with the words. But this is a song that I wrote living on West 72nd Street, feeling a little down. And I might have been under the influence of some herbal remedy, hard to say. And lo and behold, I looked up and the furniture started talking, which would have been cause for concern in any case. But in this instance, they gave me what I still consider to be pretty good advice. Well, said the rocking chair, it's been a while since I've seen such stark despair. I told you life was fair. Whoa, said the radio, said there's some things you ought to know. There's little you can do to stop the pain, and it's gonna happen time and time again. So just remember, even though it sounds insane, it's impossible to ever love somebody in vain. Alright, it's gonna be alright. It's gonna be alright. It's gonna be alright. No, said the balcony. If it's pity you want, don't come to me. No, nothing comes for free. Yes, said the coffee cup. Maybe now is the time to act grown up. If you feel like your world is crashing in, simply dial up your nearest kith or kin. If you open up and let them in, you'll discover that you'll probably make it through once again. Alright, it's gonna be alright. It's gonna be alright. It's gonna be alright. Hey, said the tabletop, don't be making like you're anything you're not. Make do with what you got. Don't forget, said the cuckoo clock, any parts you need we've got in stock. Take a look at the place you call your home. You're reflected in all the things you own, and the seeds of reason you have sown through a measure of a part of you that's already grown. Alright, it's gonna be alright. 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 When I wrote that song, just to say, I did try to ascribe sort of anthropomorphic characteristics to all the different pieces of furniture and appliances in the house. So, a rocking chair is something that consoles. A radio is something that announces. A coffee cup is something that is for grown-ups. And, the balcony is something people jump off when they're really in despair. And the balcony said, no.
If it's pity you want, don't come to me. And the very last item in that song is don't forget, said the cuckoo clock. Any parts you need, we've got in stock. And what I meant by that chorus, that phrase, was that when all else fails, when things seem hopeless, the one trick you got left in your bag is your imagination and creativity to figure out a way out of any dilemma or mess, almost any. So anyway, that's what that song is all about. And thanks again, Jessica. And do visit circusharmony.com and give those folks a hand. That's very cool. So anyway, now it's time for another special guest. And I'm so excited and pleased that he has agreed to join us here. So I'm just going to bring him right on if I figure out which button to press. There we go. And he's standing right there, everybody. Please give a warm welcome to the amazing Stephen Page. Hey, Stephen.
Hey, everybody. Hey, Dean. How are you?
I'm very well. How's it going there?
Good. That was great. I thank you for playing rocking chair. I was singing the backups, sitting on the couch back
cool.
here.
All right. Excellent. Well, as most of you folks know, my connection to Stephen goes way back when one day someone said to me, Dean, there's some band up in Canada that's did a cover version of your song, and they're called Barenaked Ladies. And I said, well, that's a funny name for a band. And anyway, Steve very graciously came down to New York when I was doing Songs for Grown-Ups, sang background vocals on some of those tracks, including Hobnobbin and some of those other, and that was cool. And just this past fall, before this pandemic and lockdown, when musicians were still allowed to go on the road and tour, Steve graciously invited me to open up for his trio, Steve Page Trio. We toured the East Coast and had a great time. And in fact, let's see here. Yeah, here. This is us.
Nice.
There's Steven and Kevin Fox, and there's Liam and me and Paul and there's Craig Northey. Anyway, and we're I think somewhere in Osceola. Is that what?
It's got to be. I think that's in Sarasota, right? Right. It said the venue in Sarasota.
Excellent. Okay. All right. Well, I have one more picture I want to share with you, Stephen, and you can try to explain this for me.
All right.
This was early one morning with a 7 a.m. wake-up call on the way to some other town in Florida. And you can see how early it is in the morning because the street lights are still not turned off because of the sunlight. It was really like pre-dawn. And so I just got to ask, those are not musician hours, Stephen. How did that happen?
No, I don't know. It's funny though. Like I don't know if your hours have shifted during pandemic lockdown, but I'm like going to bed early and waking up crazy early. Like when I'm depressed, normally I could sleep all day. Like I'll just find any excuse to go back to bed. But like for some reason, like even though I have all these kind of like these like depression, anxiety triggers, like I'm up out of bed before 6.
Well, it is strange because it is wreaking havoc on our sleeping patterns. Because in our house, sometimes we have like a double sleep.
Right.
It's like we go to bed early because we're tired of I'm not sure what, and then get wide awake in the middle of the night, up for a couple hours watching Netflix or stupid news.
Yeah.
And then go back to sleep again and sleeping late. But I guess in our cave dwelling days, that was not so unusual.
That's right. It's like it's nap times too. I'm doing a lot more napping, like napping that I can't really control. I just kind of nod off, and then I can wake up and think, that wasn't very refreshing.
Well, in general, I'm a big fan of naps.
Yeah, I remember you telling me on the tour like how that was a key to getting through long and stressful days.
Yeah, that was advice from the old guy on the tour.
Well, but I didn't follow your advice, and now I'm like, you know what, Dean was right. Absolutely.
Good to hear. So anyway, David,
Excuse me, Stephen, are you going to favor us with some of your very cool songs?
Sure. Why don't I sing the song that I wrote a few weeks ago for the situation we're in now? Those of us who are thankfully healthy, but are stuck inside. This is
perfect.
Something to bounce off the walls with the kids too.
Everybody in the house next door. Everybody on the ocean floor. Everybody in the grocery store sing, oh, 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 oh. Everybody says the bacon bread. Everybody feel the creeping dread. Everybody's going back to bed like me. I'm here to stay. Everybody taking on like courses. Everybody with the unseen forces. Everybody with the tiny horses. Oh, 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 oh. Everybody with the broken dreams. Everybody on the big sport teams. Everybody with the fake news memes. And isolation, isolation. Oh, 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 oh. Everybody with that empty fridge. Everybody on the Brooklyn Bridge. Everybody with the privilege sing. Oh, 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 oh. Everybody with the lonely heart. Everybody sharing graphs and charts. Everybody singing Wherefore Art Thou? Oh, 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 meow. I can take the easy route and say this is the way we've always been. But spend a couple hours down the rabbit hole and you'll know what I mean. Everybody who just lost their gig. Everybody who is starting big. Everybody gonna flip their wig like me. I'm going crazy. Everybody in the Pizza Hut. Everybody with the cable cut. Everybody is together but in isolation. 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 Oh, 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 oh. Everybody with the nice clean tone. Everybody with their filthy bone. Everybody staying home alone like me. I'm here to say that everybody's gonna make some stuff. Everybody's gonna say enough. Then everybody's gonna call their bluff in isolation. 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 Oh, 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 oh.
So cool. Stephen
Thank
Page. That's a great song, and couldn't be more timely. So well done. That's very cool.
Thank you.
Now, you're talking about flipping your wig and the kind of emotional responses we have to unusual circumstances, and yet any musician that has survived in the music business for any length of time has experience with recovering from taking hits, and
For
we're both familiar with that, and yet it's the things that we wind up doing as a consequence of those strange derailments and detours that wind up being some of my favorite things. So I'm just going to play a little clip here, Stephen, and I'd like you to explain what happened and how this came about.
He's a really useful engine, you know. All the other engines, they'll tell you so. He huffs and puffs and whistles, rushing to and fro. He's the really useful engine we adore. He's a really useful engine, you know. 'Cause the fat controller, he told him so. Now He's got a branch line to call his very own. He's the really useful engine we adore. He's the one, he's the number one. Tom is the tank engine. He's the really useful engine we adore.
Yeah. I'll have you know that is my most played song on Spotify.
Let me tell you, I love that. That's so great. You should be so proud of that. That's just really brilliant. So,
I remember. Well, they asked me to do that. That would be in around, I think it was 2000. So we were kind of at the height. Barenaked Ladies were at the height of our popularity, and they asked me just to do this. So they sent me that track, and we were in the middle of recording our album Maroon, and so I took some time and recorded it in the big Hollywood studio. Did this vocal over top of the track that they already had there, and that was that. And they kind of got it. They got it back, and I think that I don't know what they thought I was going to do to it, like put some kind of wailing guitar solo or something on it. But they're like, "That's it." And I was like, "What else did you want to happen?" And they had like a children's choir and stuff in there, but not in the studio with me, just in their track. But the only reason I said yes was because my kids were small at that point. I had a 3.5-year-old and a 1.5 old. So perfect. My 3.5-year-old loves Thomas the Tank Engine. So I took him to see the movie the day it opened, so he could hear me singing the theme song.
That's great.
And so I sat him down in the movie, didn't tell him it was coming. And then the song comes on, and I said, "Who's that?" He goes, "It's you." He didn't care. He liked the movie, but he did not care that Dad was singing. He was just like, "Yeah, Dad sings all the time."
Yeah, I hear it.
He had no concept of the fact that it might be special. But so he was like, "Yeah, that's you."
Kids are kids.
Yep.
Listen, I got home from a tour once, and while I was away, my wife Allison had been playing my children's cassette for our daughter Hannah to put her to sleep at night. And so when I finally got off the road, I took my guitar and went in to sing her goodnight. I started playing one of the kids' songs, and she said, "Daddy, could you play the tape instead?" Anyway, so Stephen, would you favor us with another one of your cool compositions?
Sure. I'll do one that takes place in the world before pandemic, when those of us who were in the kind of self-employed work from home arts world, we're also trying to slot our lives in with family members who worked outside of the house. But now that we're in lockdown, they can see how much or how little we actually work.
Here it is, Stephen Page.
There's wisdom in every little thing you say, and I'm wrong, and getting wronger every day. I need you. You know I'll never break your heart. I hear you. Could you repeat the last part, darling? It's been a while. Talking to a man now. You're talking to a man now, child. Speak slowly, sweetheart. What do you think I do all day? I make art. When inspiration blows my way, all the shouting, I'm getting kind of used to that, this doubting my intentions. Well, honey, that just makes me sad. Oh, darling, you're talking to a man, child. You're talking to a man, child, now. Speak slowly, darling. You're talking to a man, child. You're talking to a man, child, now. Speak slowly, You ask for conversation and ask for understanding, and then you say you want a man. Well, I know you. You think I'm just a lazy jerk, but I miss you. Babe, when you're away at work, oh, and genius, that's right. It can strike a man at any time, so I'll just be here waiting. Now could we cut it with the heavy sighs? Oh, darling, you tuck it to a man, child. You tuck it to a man, child, now. Speak slowly, darling. You tuck it to a man, child, now. Tuck it to a man, child, sugar. Speak slowly, speak slowly.
Ah, that was so cool. I love that
Thank
song.
you. Thanks.
You know, there was another thing I learned while we were touring up and down the East Coast that I was kind of surprised to discover about you, Stephen.
What's that?
That I think some of our viewers might also be surprised to learn. And that's illustrated in this very short clip.
Founding Barenaked Lady frontman turned solo star Stephen Page.
Yeah, I got the palate talent and the skills to be the chop champ. How do you guys know what you're making? I'm the best armchair Chop Canada participant that you can imagine. I sit at home and yell at the screen and tell them what I would have done differently, and then I'm coming here to fail. Roz seems to be the one to watch out for right now, and I'm a little nervous.
So, whose dish is on the chopping block?
So who won?
Ladies and gentlemen, the celebrity Chopped Canada winner, Stephen Page.
That's
I won.
amazing.
I won for that, but I lost in the sense that they made us tie our aprons right around the middle of our guts, which made me look even bigger than I already felt. Hey, fat guy, tie that thing right across your middle. So there's a difference between the red and black right there at your navel.
Well, that's remarkable. So I got to ask, how did you become a culinary maven?
I love to eat. Honestly, like traveling, being a musician and traveling, I think made me like one of the ways that I love to be able to connect with an audience and with a city and be able to understand it is try foods there. So whether it's like a city might have a great population, like let's, I don't know, in Minneapolis having a great Somali or Vietnamese population where their food in those cuisines is really top notch. So you go and try as many as you can every time you go back. You start to remember each city by its cuisine, and you can connect with the audience that way too, without pandering to them. You're just talking on their level. And so because of that, I don't know, we did, maybe 8 years ago, I did a TV series, one season of it called The Illegal Eater, where I traveled around North America, going to like pop-up restaurants and underground supper clubs and all that kind of thing. And it just played off of that love I already had for it.
That is so cool. That's really cool.
I like to cook too. It's fun. It's a way to show people at home that I still care when I get home.
Excellent. Well, I know you got another song to share with us, but hold on. Hold on. Bear with me a second, Stephen.
Yep.
This could be problematic.
Uh-oh.
Hello, Stephen. I just stopped by to say I'm a huge fan of Stephen Page and BNL.
Thank you.
Yes, I'm so pleased. You know, I've been a fan for many years, way back to the BNL demo tape, the yellow tape. That's right. I have it on cassette. I used to play it on my boombox as I was visiting the Commonwealth. And visiting my loyal subjects all over the world, of which, of course, you are one. Because after all, I am on your money. Isn't that right?
You are on all of our money. Yes, virtually all of it.
And I do have to say, I have one request, if I may. It's not so much a request as it is a royal command, which is one of my favorite songs of yours, is the truly sublime Brian Wilson. So, would you deign to play that for Her Majesty?
Absolutely, ma'am. That was the first time I've ever heard Her Majesty the Queen sing, and that feels like that opportunity was afforded to me personally, and your wish now is my command. I will both bow and curtsy.
I'm very pleased. I have such loyal subjects all over the world.
Anything for you, Mom.
Okay, and folks, here we are, Stephen Page, singing Brian Wilson.
Drove downtown in the rain, 9:30 on a Tuesday night, just to check out the late night record shop. Call it impulsive, call it compulsive, call it insane. When I'm surrounded, I just can't stop. It's a matter of instinct, it's a matter of conditioning, and a matter of fact. You can call me Pavlov's dog. Ring a bell and I'll salivate. How'd you like that? Dr. Lindsay, tell me, and I'm just a paragon. 'Cause right now I'm lying in bed, just like Brian Wilson did. Well, I'm lying in bed, just like Brian Wilson did. Whoa. So I'm lying here, staring at the ceiling tiles, and I'm thinking about what to think about. Just listening and be listening, smile and smile, and I'm wondering if this is some kind of creative drought, because I'm lying in bed just like Brian Wilson did. Well, I'm lying in bed just like Brian Wilson did. Whoa. And if you want to find me, I'll be out in the sandbox, just wondering where the hell all the love is gone. Playing my guitar and building castles in the sun, whoa, 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 and singing fun, fun, fun. I'm lying in bed just like Brian Wilson did. Well, I'm lying in bed just like Brian Wilson did. Whoa. I had a dream that I was 300 pounds. Though I was very heavy, I floated till I couldn't see the ground. I floated till I could not see the ground. Somebody help me, I couldn't see the ground. Somebody help me, couldn't see the ground. Somebody help me, 'cause I'm lying in bed just like Brian Wilson did. Well, I'm lying in bed just like Brian Wilson did. Ooh, yeah! Downtown in the rain, 9:30 on a Tuesday night, just to check out the late night record shop. Call it impulsive, you call it compulsive, call it insane. Oh, when I'm surrounded, I just can't star.
Awesome. Yeah.
Thank you.
That's amazing, man. You know, any songwriter will tell you that it's a challenge to write a song about clinical depression, but it's a miracle to write a beautiful song like you just did about a topic like that.
Thank you.
I always loved that song, and thanks for playing it, man.
My pleasure.
And Liz says thank you for playing it as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Majesty.
Listen, we're gonna do one song together here, and we'll give it a shot. Remind our viewers, go visit Steven's website because he's doing all kinds of live streams himself.
Yep.
He did one last night, which was really cool. You should check it out. The next one he does, get on his mailing list if you're not already on it, and check out what he's been up to and what he's going to be up to. And I'm going to move over there to my keyboard to do this. Now, we're dealing with two things. We're dealing with a time lag through the internet, but we're also dealing with two separate arrangements of the same song.
Which is why I'm basically hands off the guitar on this.
All right. It's just every time I try to remember the one arrangement, I find myself slipping back into the other. So we're going to make it work one way or the other.
Just do yours.
I am in love with a McDonald's girl. She has a smile of innocence, so tender and warm. I am in love with a McDonald's girl. She is an angel in a polyester uniform. I leave from softball practice every night. It's getting dark, but the golden arches light up the way. I turn the corner at the traffic light. I count my money and then I rehearse what I'm gonna say. I'd like an order of fries, a quarter pounder with cheese. I love the light in your eyes. Will you go out with me, please? I am in love with a McDonald's girl. She has a smile of innocence, so tender and warm. I am in love with a McDonald's girl. She is an angel in a polyester uniform.
Take it away, Dean.
She doesn't try to impress anyone. She doesn't act real tough like all the other girls that I know. She don't treat me like a simpleton. She's not afraid to be the only other virgin I know. And as I head for the door, movement catches her eye. She's only 15 years old. She smiles and waves. Oh, I'm in love with her so. I am in love with a McDonald's girl. She has a smile of innocence, so tender. I am in love with a McDonald's girl. She is an angel in a polyester uniform.
There she stands behind the register, taking orders from the Saddle River Little League. If they knew how much I wanted her, their homeroom teachers would have to send them home for a week. And as I head through the door, the movement catches her eye. My heart begins to soar. She smiles and waves goodbye.
Goodbye, goodbye.
I am in love with a McDonald's girl. She has a smile of innocence, so tender and warm. I am in love with a McDonald's girl. She is an angel in a polyester uniform.
She is an angel in a polyester uniform. She is an angel in a polyester uniform. Stephen Page, everybody.
Thanks, Dean.
Stephen, thanks very much for joining us. You be well, take care, and looking out for whatever you're up to. And you take care of yourself, man. Good to
Thanks,
see you.
lots of love.
All right. That was fun. Let's see here. Let's see what else is going on. Hold on. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I see my good friend Brett and my brother Aram. There they are, the two of them. Hey, guys, how's life treating you?
Hi, Brett. Can you hear me?
Let's see. I'm not sure. Well, let me, Aram, you hang in there, and let me talk to Brett for a little bit, and
sure.
then we'll come back and visit with you.
Okay.
And I'll see you in just a little bit. Hey, Bretsky, how's it going? You know what? I can't hear your mic, buddy. La 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 la. Dum-ba-dum-dum. Well, this just proves that we're live, that this was not pre-recorded to simulate a live internet webcast, that it is indeed an actual internet webcast. And see, look at all those familiar-looking foods.
How about now?
There you go. I can hear you now, Brett.
Oh,
you're live.
somehow my mic got unmuted. You did that.
I don't recall. Okay.
Okay.
What's going on?
Are you getting hungry? What?
How's life treating you, and what are you
Oh,
up to
life's
these
treating me
days?
great. But what I wanted to do today is talk a little bit about your diet.
Really? Because especially lockdown is important.
We lived in this place back in the Bronx.
That's right.
I can use a little Bronx science to mix up a Dean Friedman smoothie, which is based on what your diet was when we lived in an apartment in the Bronx.
That sounds very dangerous.
Well, I'm doing this because many people over the years have asked me, what was it like living with Dean? What did he eat? I mean, that's a big question all the time. What did Dean eat? And how did he get to be able to sing so high?
I see.
So this is what we're going to do, all right?
Yes.
So first of all, Sugar Smacks.
Absolutely. Sugar Smacks, one of my favorite snacks.
A staple. Oh, wait a minute. Forgot the milk. Must have milk.
Okay, you have to have your calcium.
Okay.
And
So
protein.
we got the milk.
And some vitamin D.
Yeah, but we can't stop there. We have to add some
Honey Nut Cheerios.
Honey Nut Cheerios. Okay. So there we go. And then we have, no, definitely not this.
That seems too healthy. I'm not sure I would have eaten that in those days.
No. But the coup de grace, last but not least, Captain Crunch.
That's right.
Now when I asked Dean why he ate all this crap, what did you tell me, Dean? Do you remember?
I don't recall.
He said, well, my mother would never let me eat this stuff. It was always whole grains.
It's true.
That's why, when you have peanut butter and jelly, which is another one of your favorites,
right.
You might have it on white bread. Hey, dear, where's the white bread?
White bread? White bread? What the fuck do you want white bread for? That'll raise your glycemic index 50% higher than table sugar even.
Okay.
Whose house do you think you're living in?
Okay.
Sorry,
All right,
Brett.
All right. So instead, I was afraid of that. So I have some white flour.
All right. That sounds appropriate.
Okay.
White flour? Where'd you get that?
Cabinet. Okay.
Embarrassing me.
Okay. Peanut butter.
Peanut butter. That's good.
Peanut butter. Okay. Little jelly. Little raspberries. Is that okay?
Absolutely. Sure. Yeah. No, this is starting to look delicious.
Really? Okay. So Does this ring any bells?
Oh, look at that. Butterscotch Jello. Instant.
Butterscotch pudding. This is the story about that maybe Aaron would like to tell when he comes on.
That's a good possibility.
So let's put, but look, you must look at the ingredients on this. I mean, it's.
Oh my goodness, I can't pronounce half of those words.
Yeah. So, okay. So we'll get a little butterscotch pudding in there. And, can't forget the Hawaiian punch. Got to put some Hawaiian punch in there. Used to be one of your faves, if I recall.
How would you like a Hawaiian punch?
Yeah, exactly. Okay, some Hawaiian punch.
Now, this is starting to look slightly lethal, Brett.
No. Don't worry about it. Look. I think you've done pretty well. Slice of pizza?
Of course.
Okay. Slice of pizza?
It's got to be the day-old pizza.
Exactly. Okay. Now, here's something. Here's a very special ingredient.
Oh, look at that. Gefilte fish.
Okay.
These were all my main food staples, Brett. You're right.
Right. So now, when you sang Well Said the Rocking Chair, it reminded me of can you tell what that is?
Is that wheat germ? What is that?
That is one of the herbal remedies that you use to inspire
really?
you.
Excellent. Because I remember you used to sprinkle wheat germ on everything, Brett.
Well. Okay, so see how this goes now.
That's quite an impressive blender.
I cannot wait to taste this. It's so long.
There's no medical policy on this show, Brett. There's no policy at all.
Hold on, I'm gonna put on my Stephen Page glasses here to protect me from the fumes coming out of the glass. Okay. Oh my God, it's so good. I gotta take one more sip.
Okay. My secret's been revealed, Brett. Thanks a lot.
Okay. All right. Well, that's it. That's your cooking lesson for the day. Anybody who wants the recipe, just email Dean Friedman at deanfriedman.com, and I'll get him the recipe for you. Thanks very much.
Brett, thank you.
And maybe Aaron wants to tell that butterscotch pudding story.
I will ask him. And love to your lovely wife, Jeanette. And sorry about the white bread. Take care, buddy.
God. Hi.
Hey, Aaron. My goodness.
I'll pass on the butterscotch.
I will tell that story next time.
Yeah.
Aaron, first of all, I have to say I really admire your tie. Could you give us a more look at that? It's a dart tie. I know they would enjoy that in the pubs in England, as a matter of fact.
It's my power tie.
Excellent. So, what have you been up to?
More of the same old, different day. Now, I wanted to apologize last week. I didn't realize that the song that we presented was a copyright problem for you.
Yes, we did get flagged by YouTube and Facebook for a song that was still in copyright. Even though it was written in 1929.
Okay, well, I took that very seriously, and I thought, okay, what can I present to you that would not possibly be a copyright problem? So, now, I don't know your catalog too well. Did you write a song called Lydia?
Well, I did. It might not be the only song called Lydia.
Okay, well, I found it. And I would like to do one more sing-along, if you don't mind. Okay,
I look forward to that. I know our audience will enjoy it.
All right, so let's get the sing-along screen up.
Here we go.
Get it so that everyone can see. How's that look? Is that better? Okay, here we go.
Okay.
And to your audience, everyone, again, up. Listen carefully. Here we go.
sing along with Aaron.
Lydia, oh Lydia, say have you met Lydia? Oh Lydia, the tattooed lady. She has eyes that folks adore so, and a torso even more so. Lydia, that encyclopedia. Oh Lydia, the queen of tattoo. On her back is the Battle of Waterloo. Beside it the wreck of the Hesperus too, and proudly above waves the red, white, and blue. You can learn a lot from Lydia. She can give you a view of the world in tattoo if you step up and tell her where. For a dime you can see Kankakee or Paris or Washington crossing the Delaware. Oh Lydia, say have you met Lydia? Oh Lydia, the tattooed lady.
How come you understand?
When her muscles start relaxing, up the hill comes Andrew Jackson. Lydia, oh Lydia, that encyclopedia. Oh Lydia, the champ of them all. For to bit she will do a mazurka in jazz, with a view of Niagara that no artist has. And on a clear day you can see Alcatraz. You can learn a lot from Lydia. La, 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 la. Come along and see Buffalo Bill with his lasso, just a little classic by Mendel Picasso. Here is Captain Spaulding exploring the Amazon, and Godiva but with her pajamas on. La, 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 la. Come and take a look at the old faithful geyser. Here we have the bloodhounds a-chasing Eliza. Here's Nijinsky a-doing the rumba. Here's her social security number. La, 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 Lydia, oh Lydia, say have you met Lydia? Oh Lydia, the champ of them all. She once swept an admiral clear off his feet. The ships on her hips made his heart skip a beat. And now the old boy's in command of the fleet, for he went and married Lydia.
Thank you.
That's excellent. Thank you, Aaron.
All right. So hopefully that won't violate any copyright infringements.
All right, I'll let you know if they do.
Okay.
I love the lyrics to that. That's pretty funny.
I was going to suggest perhaps a contest after this of how many continents were mentioned in the lyrics.
All right. Well, anyone know the answer to that? Message me. And let's see here. Only heard Lydia by Groucho Marx before tonight. All right, that was Rudy Valley.
Right. It was recorded right after the movie came out, A Night at the Circus.
I bet this song is so old Queen Elizabeth I danced to it.
Here, wait. I'll show you the actual beautiful disc here.
Ooh, look at that. Very cool. Lydia, the tattooed lady.
I just want to make one more point here. I know that our friends in the city of Atlanta are going back to work, although it seems a little odd what businesses they decided to open up. One of them was tattoo parlors, and I was a little perplexed as to the value of a tattoo parlor, but in retrospect, I realize it's actually an educational, historical function. So,
and thus an essential service.
Yes.
Brilliant.
Okay.
All right. Well, Aaron, thank you for that.
My pleasure.
And you take care. I'll check in with you soon. And I think you might have inspired the next song I'm going to play, even though I might not remember all the words to it.
Okay.
Right.
Bye, everybody.
Take care, Aaron. All right. Well, what the heck? Because everyone's been asking me to do a song. I'll try to do that one as well. And I might take a stab at a new one. So stand by. Lydia keeps my toothbrush in her apartment, and she never complains. Well, hardly ever. And then jokingly she says, boy, it's been so long since I've held you, I nearly gave you up for dead. I nearly gave you up for dead. I nearly gave you up for dead. How come you understand? I can offer you nothing at all. This is more than I had planned. Lady, I am at your command, at least until morning comes. And then I must be off again. I must be off again. But you know, I always talk about conscious decisions, about running my own life. Maybe I'm fooling myself. It's a role I like to play. 'Cause more often than not, I'm down here on the corner. I'm sorry I woke you. Do you feel like some company? Babe, I need a place to stay. I can offer you nothing at all. This is more than I had planned. Lady, I'm at your command, at least until morning comes. Then I must be off again. I must be off again. I sleep with a woman who thinks I'm a child. Maybe I am. Well, that wouldn't surprise anyone. I suspect that much is true. But Lydia, if you only knew just how much I love you. Did you know that I love you? It's the best that I can do. How can you understand? I can offer you nothing at all. This is more than I had planned. Lady, I am at your command, at least until morning comes. And then I must be off again. I must be off again. Well, it's getting late, so I might squeeze in this one last song here. It's a new song, excuse me. So I'll probably mess it up, but I'll give it a shot. Let's see if I can stick this here.
Don't you fret now, don't you cry. It's an American lullaby. Manifest destiny's a lie. It's an American lullaby. Half moon shining in the night. Crack of a musket fire, first light. Always keep your powder dry. It's an American lullaby. Unclench your fist and dry your eye. It's an American lullaby. Judgment served from up on high. It's an American lullaby. One fine night in paradise, the God of thunder rolls the dice. 1,000 rounds light up the sky. It's an American lullaby. Rest your dreams, in dreams you'll fly, while the TV pundits prophesy. One more innocent passerby. It's an American lullaby. He said I cannot tell a lie. Cross my heart and hope to die. He still won't look you in the eye. It's an American lullaby. Close your eyes now, sleep is nigh. It's an American lullaby. Cross the shallows, do or die. It's an American lullaby. Headlights shining in the dark. Coyotes howl, the bloodhounds bark. You can hear the angels sigh. It's an American lullaby. Human kindness in short supply. It's an American lullaby. Anyway, that's an American lullaby. That brings us to the end of our DeanZine Livestream, episode 5. And I want to thank all of my guests, Jessica Hentoff and Stephen Page and Brett Newman and Aaron Friedman and everyone else that contributed, and mostly to all you folks who tuned in to listen. I wish everybody good health and peace of mind. And
take care of yourselves and stay in touch and help spread the word. And I should probably throw one of these banners as well, which is we appreciate, or I appreciate, your support for these streaming efforts. Even a modest contribution makes a big difference. And so you guys take care of yourselves, be well, stay in touch, and I will see everybody really soon. Oh, and next week, by the way, the sublime singer-songwriter Fiona Bevan is going to be our special guest, as well as other fun silliness and things to keep you occupied on a Sunday in the midst of the lockdown. Everybody take care, be well. I'll see you soon.
DeanZine LiveStream.